At the time of its launch, Nickelodeon ran 12 hours on weekdays, between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., and 11 hours on weekends, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. This was not unusual for its time. Network television had normal sign-on and sign-off times. After all, the people working at the stations had to go home too. Since cable television was initially an expansion on the networks, it was only natural that they would keep some of those habits. Though by 1979, the tide was turning towards 24-hour programming. CNN, the first 24-hour news channel, was only a year away. A 24-hour Nickelodeon, however, that wouldn't be reasonable. Children shouldn't be up at 2 in the morning. That's exclusively the realm of insomniacs eating cold beans out of a can. You could see the same philosophy in one of Nickelodeon's main competitors, the Disney Channel. In its early years, Disney Channel signed off and just looped a bunch of promos and trailers in the early AM. Nickelodeon, however, they weren't down for that. In the first half of the 1980s, the channel was on a quest. A quest to find something to air in the late night, early morning hours. Their first attempt proved to be their most simplistic. Why don't we just show some movies? For the first year of its existence, Nickelodeon signed off in the evening, and Star Channel signed on in its place. Of course, it's hardly that simple. Warner Communications didn't just make up a movie programming block on the spot. We have to go back to the 1960s.
We have to go back!
So there was this company called Television Communications Corporation, or TVC. Yes, I know the acronym doesn't work. Blame them, not me. TVC was an early multiple system operator, basically a company that owned more than one cable system in the country. Of course, this was back in the days when cable was just a delivery service for normal network television.
It was a Delaware corporation and started out owning 8 systems and then grew. We had 2 in the state of Oregon, 2 in New Hampshire, 1 in Vermont, and 2 in Massachusetts.
That was F. Gordon Fuqua, who was the vice president of operations for TVC. He and the company's founder, Alfred Stern, began to wonder if they could expand cable with exclusive channels. They began developing the idea, a batch of channels that included an arts and current events channel, an instructional channel, a channel for medical professionals, and the big selling point, a movie channel. And this channel block would be known as Gridtronics. Yeah, this company wasn't really great with names. Gridtronics sounds like a Radio Shack competitor, not a hip new entertainment package. TVC presented Gridtronics at the 1969 National Cable and Telecommunications Association Convention, but the truth of the matter was, they really didn't know what they were doing. The strategy was to first sell the Gridtronics channel to other cable packages. The goal was to get 500,000 subscribers on board, and with that, go to the Hollywood studios and ask, "Pretty please, can we rent some of your movies to show on our movie channel?" Here's the thing. Customers aren't going to be interested in a channel that doesn't have any content to show for itself yet. And studios aren't interested in working with a channel that doesn't have any customers yet. After 3 years of trying, Gridtronics had nothing to show for itself. Then, in 1972, TVC was purchased by Warner Communications. Warner was buying up a lot of multiple system operators so that they could claim those territories when they kicked off their own cable system. And Gridtronics was along for the ride. 1972 was also the year home box office opened its doors, cable's first exclusive success, and having a movie channel in your package became very in vogue. Gridtronics didn't have any movies, but they did have an infrastructure. Warner Communications had a lot of movies, but no infrastructure. Hey, you got chocolate in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. So Warner Communications launched Gridtronics on April 1st, 1973, with its key movie channel dubbed Warner Star Channel, soon shortened to just Star Channel. Star Channel had complete access to the Warner Brothers film archive post-1950. The pre-1950 archive had been purchased by Associated Artists Productions. So, yes to My Fair Lady, no to Casablanca. Now, Star Channel was kind of scattered to the wind while Warner Communications tried to figure out exactly what it was going to do with its cable program. And in 1977, it became one of the proto pay-per-view channels offered by Cube's interactive cable program in Columbus, Ohio. And then in 1979, it was attached to the same transponder space as Nickelodeon. And this is where Nickelodeon being a lost leader came in. The idea was, okay, you entice parents to buy your cable program because it includes the only channel to exclusively feature children's programs 7 days a week. But when Nickelodeon went off the air, there was a broken, fuzzy, scrambled signal. Maybe, if you squint hard enough, you could see a few frames of The Exorcist or Bonnie and Clyde. There's a movie channel, like HBO or Showtime, just beyond your grasp. Well, if you upgrade to Warner's more expensive package, you get a new cable box that will decrypt those signals, and baby, you're watching Star Channel. It's important to remember, while Knickknacks is often a celebratory look back at a bunch of weird, inventive television programs, we're still talking about corporations and capitalism. It's easy to overlook that when there's art on the other end, but Star Channel wasn't art. The films it aired weren't made for the channel, they were a means of selling cable boxes. There was a lot to Nickelodeon, but the big guys in suits in charge of this operation saw it as a means to an end. Nickelodeon is here to sell cable boxes. And also, Nickelodeon is here to sell the more expensive cable boxes. But maybe you've already spotted the problem here. Even if you bought the package that included Star Channel, it aired in such a late time slot when Nickelodeon ended till about 4 in the morning. People in a very conditional lifestyle might enjoy it if you work late shifts and you get home at midnight, or if you work the graveyard shift and it's your day off and all the other channels have signed off. But you know who probably wouldn't appreciate Star Channel? Parents. Adults who have to get up at 6 in the morning to make sure their kids get off to school on time. No parent's going to stay up to the wee AM hours to watch the Nun Story on a school night. The targeted consumers for Nickelodeon are not the targeted consumers for Star Channel, and that's a problem. Star Channel continued to be tweaked throughout its run. On September 14, 1979, American Express bought 50% of Warner Cable Corporation, the two companies folding into Warner AMAX Satellite Entertainment. We'll be going into this merger in greater detail in a future video, but one thing it did was bring in a new guy to be in charge of developing on-air promotions for Star Channel. His name? Fred Siebert. Remember him, he's going to become super important later down the line. On December 1st, 1979, Star Channel was officially renamed The Movie Channel, a name so generic it's a shock no one else came up with it first. And then on January 1st, 1980, it spun off into its own 24-hour movie channel, which it really should have been from the beginning. It was, not unsuccessful. The movie channel had a few things going for it. It was, for the longest time, the only movie station to air R-rated movies during the daytime hours. It was the first movie station to utilize stereophonic audio. But it was still very much the bronze medal winner in the movie station race. By the end of 1980, HBO had 2.7 million subscribers, Showtime had 825,000, while the movie channel just had 125,000. There's more to the story of the movie channel, but I'm going to save it for when Viacom enters the picture. Its relationship with Nickelodeon has come to an end, so I think that's a good place to put a cap on things. So, what's there to learn from the story of Gridtronics/Star Channel/the movie channel? That a lot of capitalism is just guys flailing their arms around. That mediocrity can be greatly rewarded. At no point did this ever deserve to be successful. Gridtronics was a failure of execution. Star Channel was a failure of understanding its audience. The movie channel was a failure for coming into the game too late. But hey, when you got money behind you, you get all the chances in the world.
Nick, 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 Nickelodeon. Nick, 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 Nickelodeon.
Next time on Knickknacks, we kick off Nickelodeon 1980 with a new boss and some BBC reruns. Edutainment. Today's shout out goes to Blue Skies, A History of Cable Television by Patrick Parsons. This is a college textbook, which means you're probably going to find it for college textbook prices, but it is a beefy tome with a lot of information in it, including the history of TVC and Gridtronics. I won't tell anyone if you pirate it. Textbook costs are a goddamn crime. If you've been enjoying Knickknacks thus far, perhaps consider contributing to my Patreon. Even $1 is a step towards stabilizing this channel and guaranteeing I continue to provide you with content you want. You can also help out by subscribing, hitting that like button, following me on Twitter, or just sharing my videos with your friends. You can find links to all that stuff in the description below. Have a great day, everybody.